this picture. Hey, hey, y'all. Hey, we are live, and I have a special guest for you today. I know I did a little preview. I told y'all it was coming, and I am so excited and ready for this. So, let me just do some house rules. If you're watching this on replay, let me know in the comment that you've seen it on replay. You're going to want to share this one with your friends. So make sure that you share my Linktree, which is Linktree Spiceda, so that they can join the Business Combos and Coffee group, because this one today is called Making $1 Million Hits with Lorenzo Wyche. Look, let me tell y'all about Lorenzo. Lorenzo has made some of my most favorite hits. Okay, the most favorite ones, right? So I'm not ready to show him yet, y'all. I let y'all know when to show him, show pictures or whatever. I'm not ready to show him when I'm ready to talk. All right. So look, I gotta tell y'all before I show him, so y'all could be like, yay! Because this is how I feel about my friend Lorenzo Wyche. And so I met Lorenzo before I met Lorenzo. I met his restaurant, Social House, which was a hit breakfast restaurant in my head. Kelsey has called him the Baron of Brunch. I have called him the $1 Million Hit Maker. I have called him the $1 Million Business Maker. He is my friend, okay? And there is so much I can say about Lorenzo, but what I want to tell you guys is Lorenzo not only does, and like move that off the screen, move that off the screen, move that off the screen, move that off the screen. Let me talk to the people. Lorenzo not only makes restaurants, Lorenzo makes hits, okay? Lorenzo makes hit businesses. So you want to grab your pen and paper, right? Because I got all these questions for him. He don't even know what I'm gonna ask him. Because look, I spent my birthday with Lorenzo talking like 4 hours, because that's just how good the nuggets be when you with him. So I'm gonna keep this 30 minutes today because I gotta respect his time, and y'all gonna need to go back out and apply these nuggets that you're about to get. Okay, so all right, I think I said everything. I don't know if I said everything. I just told y'all why I love Lorenzo. Lorenzo is a restaurateur, and he is a business consultant of Lorenzo Wyche Restaurants. He is also the co-founder of the now famous Breakfast Boys here in historic College Park. Lorenzo has put his hands on many of the brands that you guys know and love, right? Including the Breakfast Boys, including Rare, which was a rare experience. It's one of the places I think I had my 30th birthday party there because it was so beautiful, right? Lorenzo is responsible for, back in the day, Harlem Bar. He is a consultant to all the hit restaurants happening right now here in Atlanta. He has put his blessing on them because Lorenzo not only creates restaurants, he creates experiences in my brain. Okay. And so I welcome you guys to Making $1 Million Business, Making $1 Million Business Hits with my friend Lorenzo Wyche. Come on, Lorenzo. Come on in.
Hey.
Hey, Lorenzo.
That was amazing. That was like,
And I did it without notes. And you did it without notes.
I did it without
notes. And I did not get your intro. This was my personal intro. Can we do a side by side, please? Because I want to see him. I don't want to see myself. I want to see both of us for a minute. Okay. So, all right. Lorenzo.
Hey. Good morning.
What did I miss, friend? What do you want to tell the people? I was so excited to get here with you that I didn't even grab my coffee.
What?
No, and this is Business Combos and Coffee. We might have
gallons of coffee right here in the restaurant. So,
are you here in the restaurant?
I'll pour it over the laptop. It might fall down on your side.
Oh no!
That way and just
don't let it fall, Lorenzo. Okay. Are you here in the restaurant? Lorenzo, see, I knew this
I'm at
thing
the
was going to
restaurant
freeze on
next door in the
me.
office. Am I
Lorenzo,
freezing?
can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear
I
you.
told you you was going to freeze, Fred. So
I'm
look,
freezing
let
or
me
you
ask my
freezing?
first question. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So tell me first, did I miss anything? What do you want to tell the people?
Um, I think that, and it's funny because when people make business, well, since today's a business conversation, when people, it's funny that when people talk business, a lot of times they use restaurant analogies. People don't think of it as a business; they think of it as more of a experience. But the fact that we're always used in business conversations, foods are, if you take two apples and you take orange, like people always try to use food as an analogy for business and math, and so I think that we're always a part of that conversation. So I'm excited about it.
Yeah. So my first question for you, because you know me and you can talk all day long,
All
right?
day. Mhm.
So I got my notes, Lorenzo. Look, this is what I got my notepad. I was gonna take a picture and text it to you this morning, but I just wanted you to be surprised. Okay.
Okay.
So I want to know, you're at Breakfast Boys right now, right? How
Yes.
many staff do you manage each week at Breakfast Boys?
We manage about a staff of 50. Hmm.
50 people a week. Oh my God. So you know that this month is Health and Wellness Month, right? And so my first question is, because you're managing 50 people,
Okay. I didn't know that.
yeah,
No.
it's health and it's mental health and wellness. And as entrepreneurs and dealing with staff, right? Because when you're a solopreneur initially, you just got to deal with you and your personalities, right? And what you deal with. But when you become a business owner like you are, which you're not like right now your business is going and you're talking to me, right?
Right.
But you manage people. How do you balance that? Like, how do you deal with the different personalities of your staff?
I mean, I'm not sure I understand the question.
You're like, I can't say
You asked me two
nothing
things at the
right now.
same time.
So, okay. So, what I'm trying to say is, as a business owner, right? We got a lot of stuff coming at you. You got 50 staff that you're dealing with. You got like 1,000 customers that you deal with a week. How do you take care of Lorenzo in all of that?
Okay, so in the chaos, how do you maintain your core, who you are? I think it's understanding your limits, knowing your boundaries personally, understanding your personality type. I mean, we talk about love languages when we're in relationships, but you also have your business love language, so to speak. So what
Mhm.
you have to really understand, like who you are as a person. Are you an introvert or an extrovert? Do you Introverts typically need to like recharge after doing a lot of outward movement. Extroverts tend to need to stop and like get away from people and play all over the place. So I think it's just understanding who your personality is,
Mhm.
what brings you I wouldn't say peace, but what allows you to stay grounded in a lot of moving things and get great at making decisions, understanding how you make decisions. As a business consultant, one of the things that when I work with my clients is I try to figure out how they make decisions. Are you a person that has to sleep on a decision? Are you a person that has to make quick decisions and just get rid of them? But as an owner, typically you're making anywhere from 10 to 1,000 decisions a day, depending on your business. It could be something as simple as what you're going to eat for lunch, where you're going to eat for lunch. Are you going to leave the office or eat in? Or it might be something as large as do you make an acquisition of a understanding how you make decisions. And I think that's what helps you keep less stress on your back. Because if you're a person that needs to sleep on a decision or needs to meet with a group of people to talk it out, if you get outside of that process, then that's when it becomes stressful for you. So I think
Wow.
just
Okay. So
ultimately understanding who you are and how you operate, and then going out and then building out an environment from there.
how you make decisions. You know what? I think that that is very critical because how you make decisions and even how you process, right? Which is still how you make decisions. I think thank you. I really needed that because you got me thinking. I'm not gonna go off my script because I could go whole down a rabbit hole with
We could
this,
stay on this
right?
for about 2 hours. Right, right, right.
Right. So I'm gonna stick to we. So our nugget from this is how we maintain health as a business owner is you got to know how you make decisions, right? And build your processes around that. Now that's not my next question, but I want to talk to you, and it's one of my questions about processes. Like you got processes that make $1 million restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
and
So
I'm not telling his business, y'all. You could show up right there, right now at Breakfast Boys, and you could sit and count the money if you could count like I do, and you just be like, they're making money up in here because I love it.
mm-hmm.
People love it. The servers are happy, right? The people are happy. I am happy. Like, how do you create that? Like, what is the processes that you go through when you say, okay, I'm gonna do this venture, I'm gonna do this restaurant? What processes are key to making $1 million hit and experience?
That's a big question. So I think the first step is understanding your industry you're in and what they call best practice. Every industry has best practice. If I'm in the accounting business, there's a way that the best accountants do that business. For our restaurant, for consistency, we choose best practice. Practice. What does Houston's do that Olive Garden does that I'm trying to think of restaurant chains. It's losing me, but
Other hits, like what people
yeah,
love.
other places that you go and you like to enjoy that are
We don't want to
consistent
talk
with.
about Bruno. We only talking about Breakfast Boys, Virgil's. We not giving no shout outs to nobody else.
I think that you got to look at the greats, like you said, like who the best businesses do. If I'm going into the beverage business, I want to know what Pepsi does and Coke does, and then I look at their process and I see how can we adapt their process to our business. So if we're open up if we're going to create a beverage and we look at Coke and what does Coke do? Oh, Coke does they don't share their recipes. Maybe that might be a best practice solution. We try to find out, and that's why I always recommend when entrepreneurs look to start a venture, go to your experience. I mean, if you're old enough to have worked in a lot of different places or you have a career path, go back to what you did. You may not, but that you may like it better as an owner or as an entrepreneur, or you may find a seam in that job that wasn't being serviced. But the great thing is you have a lot of insight, and that insight allows you to create processes that are already successful. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel. So a lot of the processes that I use now are from the restaurants that I work for, like Walt Disney World, like Brinker International, like Buckhead Life here in Atlanta. When you talk about our smiling, happy staff, that's a tool that I brought from Disney.
Disney. I knew you were gonna say that. I did
Disney is
not
the number
know
one.
that. You never
Yeah,
told me that, friend.
Walt Disney World is considered in our industry the number one hospitality company in the world. And if anyone's ever visited Disney, they understand what I'm saying. If you've never been to Disney, you wouldn't know. But if
Look,
you ever
I
go to
have a
Disney
book.
World, mm-hmm.
Look, wait a minute. Why are you talking about that? Wait a minute. Because you don't know this. Yes, you do, because you've been in my office, but you probably never paid attention.
Oh, look at Mickey. I never saw
No.
it. Is he your
Look,
favorite character? Everybody's your favorite.
well,
Is he your
Mickey is
favorite
just like
character?
he's the brand. So I have him. But like it's funny that you would say that. Inside the Magic Kingdom is one of the books that's right now on my shelf. And
Oh,
that was
really?
the book that was written by Have you read it? You read
Mm-hmm.
it? Because you paused for a minute.
No, you pause for a minute.
Oh,
That wasn't me pausing. That was you pausing. I haven't read it. No.
oh, I gotta get it for you. I'm gonna get it for you.
Oh, I'll take it.
Now, it's a book called Inside the Magic Kingdom, and it's about Disney and how they create those processes and the experience. It's funny that you would say that, friend. Thank you for those nuggets. So, what Lorenzo has said, you gave us two, Lorenzo, because I know you can give us some more, but they're gonna have to. People gonna have to drop your link for Lorenzo Wyche Consulting in here, right? Or join us for like Pocket More Profit, because I'm gonna ask my friend to come and grace us with his nuggets. Because Lorenzo, you drop nuggets even when you don't know it,
Yeah,
right?
nuggets
And
like
so you
chicken
said
nuggets,
huh?
like chicken nuggets. We're
Chicken
dropping nuggets
nuggets.
like chicken nuggets.
Giant nuggets like chicken nuggets.
Hmm
Like my
Lemon
kids, chicken wings, hot dogs and bologna.
dipping sauce.
Okay, so what you gave us, Lorenzo, you said best practices and processes make $1 million hits. Following best practices and applying the right processes and the same processes that make millions, you too will achieve that too, right?
Hmm
So, what's the number one mistake you think that small businesses make or business owners make, like their first year, that caused them to fail? That's a popular business question. Hopefully, what do you think is just the one that they that people
The one
fail to
thing
do?
The one thing that I notice a lot of entrepreneurs, they come from a very self point of view when it comes to creating their products and running their business. And a lot of people get lucky. They're creating a product for themselves and they happen to have enough folks out there that are like them. But I think it's a very tricky and almost selfish position to be in. Um, I think you need to find out who your customer is. Entrepreneurs, they usually lose their way. So let's say you have a young lady, she has a hair care product she created for herself because her hair wasn't doing what it wanted to do. And there happened to be a bunch of women out there who felt the same way. But once she
Mm-hmm.
starts growing as a human, as a person, generally, if she continually creates the products for herself, she might distance herself from who her customer base is. And so they got lucky because they were able to match up with their customer. But at some point, they may lose touch with who their customer is. And you see it in the restaurant business, some people will start out with a very meat and potato successful, and then because they make a lot of money, they start wanting to do luxury dining or create luxury products and takeout, which don't match up because takeout's about is and keeping cheaper products. So for me, I guess to keep it really concise, what I find is most entrepreneurs lose sight of who the customer is and why they in business, which is for the customer, not for themselves.
Absolutely. Good now. Boom. If I had a gavel, I would just slap it down now. Boom. I mean, you're right. I think
And
like that's one of the things that I notice even as I'm talking to entrepreneurs. They're like, "Oh, well, that's not what I would like." And it's like, it's not about you. One of the most important things that I've learned, even through my coaching program and programs, is that you should build your avatar. Your avatar is your customer. Know what your different avatars are, and you speak to those avatars. You don't speak to you because you don't matter. You're not buying your product unless it's a hobby. If it's a hobby, you speak for you. If it's truly going to be a business, a $1 million hit maker, you need to know your customer and know your avatar. Know your
mm,
customer. I won't get all fancy in the marketing terms. All right, Lorenzo. So,
that's great advice. That's great advice. Even but to piggyback on what you said about an avatar,
that's $100,000 of coaching right there, friend.
yes, but even to piggyback what you said about avatar, it's even more important currently to think like that because the way we market is so much more granular now. So you really need to understand who your customer is because when you bring them to a Facebook marketplace or to a TikTok or even Google, you have to really understand who that customer is at a granular level. And if you start out with an avatar style of picture for your customer and get away from your own perspective, then you'll probably have to be a lot more effective when it comes to marketing to that customer. Because you might say, "Oh, I'm never on Facebook," but guess well, your customer might be on Facebook, and which is what we go through as a
Mhm.
business. I'm not a Facebook person. I'm a Instagram person or a TikTok person. I go to work and they share stories. And so if I went from my own perspective, I would say, no, we're doing Instagram and that's where we're going to focus our marketing, or we're going to do TikTok, or we're going to do SEO on Google. But, we
Mhm.
looked at the data and our data says our customer, our guests are on Facebook. So I think having that avatar is a much more important process now than it ever has been, because you really need to understand your customer. And it's also a competitive advantage when you're marketing, because you can understand where to target your guests and your customers, where they shop at currently, where they're purchasing currently, what are their habits, are they in a relationship, are they not in a relationship, who your avatar is.
So we're not gonna get on relationships, okay? Because don't even talk about that, Lorenzo, because
Hey,
I loved our last conversation
hey,
about relationships. Like,
we're
just so
not
y'all
going there. We're
know,
not going to go there.
we're not gonna go there today. But Lorenzo and I had
Yeah.
a I had a conversation about relationships and how entrepreneurs find love, right? That's even a part of, like, building your business, because you got to have the right partner. So let's talk about partners, right?
Oh,
You decided to
you don't want me
partner.
to get into this conversation?
Look, made
You
me
might
kick my
lose
shoes
half your
off.
followers. You might lose half your listeners. You're
No, no,
watching.
no. I'm not gonna talk about that. Like, that's one of those things that those are not my views. Those are just the views that are in the public. We will not talk about this. We do not talk about
No.
Bruno.
So the question is relationships as it relates to an entrepreneur.
Like, yeah, well, no, we're not gonna talk about that, because we would go
That's a
into
whole
our other
nother. Yeah,
conversation.
that'll be a whole nother.
Yes,
Uh,
we got to have a whole different live for this one. But let's talk about this. I want to know this from you, right? How you operate your business today, right? How many restaurants have you done now?
65.
65.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were gonna say like 5, friend. Okay.
I've been a part of, so one way
You've
or
been
another, either working for them or consulting or opening, 65 total.
Wow. So in your entrepreneur days, right? And and starting think about your first restaurant that you did, right?
Mm-hmm.
The way you operate that restaurant and the way you operate your restaurants now, how has that changed? Like, and what I'm getting at, Lorenzo, is, like, what was, like, the first restaurant experience I had with you was Social House. And
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. I loved the big table, etc. But I remember talking to the waitress, and I was like, "Who owns this place? This is such a great idea. I love the pancakes and whatever." And so
Mm-hmm.
she told me Lorenzo Wyche. And so, but you were not there.
Okay.
But your business was running and operating, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I show up at Breakfast Boys. You're not always there. Like, you're there sometimes because I think that's one of your babies. But, like, how do you, like, show up? Like for me, I show up every day in my business, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you get to the point where, I'm assuming in your first business you showed up every day, to the point where you're like, look, I trust that the business is going to run without me.
So the restaurant business is not that kind. The restaurant business is a lot I have to be involved with. I'm not an investor. I'm an active owner. So again, if I was an investor, I wouldn't have to be involved with the business on a day-to-day basis. I would just be looking at the numbers. So I'm actually involved with the restaurant every day. I just do different things every day. The times that I'm not in the restaurant is so I can allow my people to run the business, because it's hard when the owner who understands restaurant is there with you every day. It's hard to do your job. Some people call it micromanaging. So by
Mhm.
me being there in the restaurant with my people, it feels like a micromanagement experience for them. So I try to give them the room to do that. If I do come in the dining room, it's for a purpose. It's to shake. I call it hand-to-hand combat. It's the time where you really start building sales, touching people, connecting, telling stories. Um, the great thing about the restaurant business, usually you can find your investors in that dining room. You can find your partners in that dining room. You can find your customers in that dining room. You can find strategic people in the community. I mean, everything is right there in the dining room. It comes to you. So it's a great platform to
Mhm.
leverage. Politicians and other business deals all comes through that front door. So for me not to be in the dining room ever is a disservice to me, because the restaurant business has that advantage over other businesses where we can really leverage the customer to do other things. So outside of that, I'm involved with the business every single day.
Gotcha. Shaking hands and kissing babies.
Even when
That's
I'm
what,
not
and
there,
really
I'm
that's
doing some part of the
That's
business.
what that's
So
the part that I was talking about, right?
okay.
So I've gotten to the point now where we've grown and I literally tell my team, I was like, look, I just want to show up in some cases to shake hands and kiss babies.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, I wrote down, you say you call it hand-to-hand combat.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm gonna call it from now on.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know what? I mean, I just can I and I know I say this all the time. And like I believe in giving people their flowers while they're here. And like I just love you, Lorenzo.
I love
Like,
you back.
it's like you are such a blessing to me and a blessing to my life, whether you know it or not. It's times that we have conversations and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna apply that. And it's not like a coaching program that I'm paying for. It's not like a consultation that I'm paying for with you or anything like that. It's just like, hey, I'm waving at you from a down the way. It's my birthday, and you come down, and literally we talk about my book, and what's the best thing for that, and da da da. And it's just like even like that nugget that you just gave, like our business like my business is in that space right
Mm-hmm.
now. And I feel like, you've been through every stage of business at some point, right? And it's always a nugget that a business owner needs at each part of their business. And you got to have people in your life or around you, even if it's not your accountant. You got to have somebody that you can bounce ideas off of, right? So
Mm-hmm.
who are your mentors?
Oh wow. I keep a healthy network of other owners, and I mean, to me, this business, I've been doing it since I was 16. It's like a sport, So I don't really watch a lot of basketball and football and all that. I tend to talk shop, and I got some friends who opened a new place now, and so I go over there and see what they're doing. So it's kind of weird because I did do consulting. So when I come around and people like pulling my ear, I'm like, well, I usually, but part of me is like, I need it too. So it's like
Mhm.
sometimes I'm just like, you know what, I don't care. So they'll text me and get information for free, but it allows me to stay sharp right now. I read a lot. If there's a book on restaurant hospitality, I'll go through it. Nation's Restaurant News is a great source. I mean, I try to see what the industry is doing as a whole. Twitter, I'm always hashtagging restaurant, the business side more, to see what the smart people are talking about. I mean, I've joined restaurant associations and stuff like that, but I think that where I'm at now, I think a little bit bigger than just restaurant, where they're really super duper niched, like on
Mhm.
food and service, which to me are like the fundamentals, but they're not the totality of what we do. But all right now, I get around key people that are really good at what they do, like yourself. Like I don't get around restaurant people. I get around people like yourself who are great with taxes, which is a component of restaurants. And it's because you're such an expert at that one thing, that is what I'm gonna pull away. If I
Mhm.
might be with a publicist one day, and I'm getting everything I need around PR, marketing, and what's trending and social media. So right now, unfortunately, I really don't have a mentor as a one person. I try to use a combination of consultants and other owners and other people that I see that are using best practice, if that makes sense. I just think that the mentorship thing is great, but sometimes you just don't have access to mentors.
Yeah.
And I'm in that situation where I don't really see a clear path to find a mentor. So I just Tetris my way through it. I say, okay, well, if a mentor would teach me this, and who else just knows that? And so I'll piecemeal it. So there's you for numbers and financials and accounting. I have other
Mhm.
people for other things. Yesterday I met with an economic development person,
Mhm.
and I picked his brain for an hour. That's the beauty of having a restaurant. I can feed you and just get everything I need right there.
Look, that's the beauty of having an accounting firm too. So I meet with hundreds of people a year, right? And like I know hundreds of people. Like Lorenzo, I like to tell the story. I planned my wedding in 90 days because of the relationships that I have, right?
Nice,
And my
nice,
wedding was under $10,000 because of the
nice.
relationships that I have. So like my photographer costs more than my caterer.
Mm.
And so because I knew another restaurateur and who was my classmate and my friend. And it just happened, right? So relationships are very important. And so I would say relationships over mentorship. It
It
depends
might be,
on who
that
you
might be
are.
the new, but that might be the new mentorship. I think people I mean, this whole mentorship thing I think is overblown. Like honestly, most people who can really mentor you are busy and they don't want to mentor you. I think if you have an environment where you're in an institution, like for example, if you're in the NBA or basketball, it's an institution. There's mentors
Mhm.
built into that process. But sometimes you're not in an institution of industry. So sometimes
Mhm.
you got to piecemeal what you want, and then don't even look for mentors. Look for partners. I mean, who's going to tell you what to do better than someone who has something at risk? So look for
Exactly.
partners who have those talents. Look for paid experts. I'm tired of grown men coming to me to want me to be a mentor. I'm like, dude, you in your 30s. There's nothing for me to mentor. Pay an expert. Pay a consultant. Sometimes
Look
I
at it.
think
Look at you preaching.
well, I think the mentor thing is overblown. I think it was cute 10, 15 years ago, but now you got people that are looking for mentors when we're in the information age. Now people are selling that information. So
Mhm.
play it properly. I mean, there's whole apps where you can go online and get people's time for $200 an hour, $350 an hour at a very high level. And so I think that you're selling yourself short by looking for someone that might like you and you might like them, because that's the other thing. Most people are looking for a mutual liking relationship of a mentor. I've had mentors in my
Mm.
life that didn't like me, but I worked for them and I learned a lot from them. Uh, and so I just think the mentor thing is overblown. You really need to look for the things that the gaps in your game, so to speak. So if you're a basketball player, when you think about NBA players, when they go to the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's and the Michael Jordans and ask for mentorship, they're looking for tricks improve their game. So if you're
Mhm.
looking for ways to improve your game, then find a partner who can improve your game. Find a consultant who can improve your game. Put together a board of directors who can help close the gaps in your game. And to me, that's a much more modernized way to get what you would want out of a mentorship. Now, if you're looking for somebody to hold your hand, then go get a blanket,
Mhm.
because most people don't
Go
care.
get a blanket.
Only people go
Wait a
get a
minute,
go.
pause,
If you
pause,
want a
pause.
friend, go
We're
get
gonna
a
have to
dog.
make that a hashtag. If
No, if you
you are
want a
looking
friend,
for
go get a dog.
somebody
I
to
mean, some
hold your
people.
hand, go get a blanket. If you're looking for somebody to help you make $1 million, hire a consultant, people.
Hire an expert. If you're looking for some hand holding, go get a friend, because that's not what business is. Business is about processes. It's
Mhm.
about finding customers. It's about putting together a talented team. And these are skill sets. It's a professional environment. So if you're just looking for somebody to sit around and talk about, oh, well, you tried this, you tried that, go get a friend to talk about that. But if you're
Yeah.
trying to find a solution to the problem, then hire a consultant, look for paid consultants, look for people who have done it and they have a lot of experience and they're willing to give it to you for a fee, or they're willing to partner with you for an incentive.
Look, that right there, you know what? When I do this replay, that right
Mhm.
there, where's my team?
That's
Y'all
the
look.
clip.
That right there is the clip. Okay? That right there is the clip. Let me point the other way. That right that right there. That is the clip, Lorenzo. Like, look, I think we should end on that. And like just start to wrap this thing up. That right
Mhm.
there is the clip. I didn't even expect you to say any of that, but you were spot on, right?
Mhm.
If you just want to bounce an idea off of someone, get a friend. But now in the market there's this, and I don't think it's a truth, but there's rumors that, hey, my friends don't support me in my business. Get new friends. And maybe you join a
Friends.
coaching program. Huh? What you say?
You said get new friends.
Get
Just
new
throw your friends
friends.
away.
Look,
Throw your
you
friends
can get
away.
new friends. That's what. But listen, honestly,
Please, I want to be your old friend.
look, I
Your
will
old
get new
friends is
friends
wondering
on you
why
in
you
a
stopped
minute,
calling
baby.
them. Huh?
Actually, I have a no new friend rule that I have dropped. I have
You
lowered
need
what
new
they call the
friends.
moratorium on
Right.
my no new friend rule. But for me, friendship is something that I've been I don't know. I've been blessed to know a lot of great and phenomenal people, right? My
Mm-hmm.
line sisters, like my last two guests for Combos and Coffee, were my line sisters
That's great.
who are amazing people, and they're my
Mm-hmm.
friends. So, like when people say that their friends don't support them, those aren't your friends. Get new friends. For people who say, hey, this isn't working for me, I'm working with this coach, or I hired this person to do it. You didn't hire the right person. You need to hire the expert that you need to get where you're going. And you don't have to like them, according to my friend Lorenzo.
And most people's hesitation is they can't afford it, which most times if you're doing anything above where you are, you won't be able to afford it because you don't have it prepared for. So, but most people will free consult. I mean, every lawyer is going to at least sit with you for 20 minutes on a phone, or maybe 30 minutes in person. Every accountant's going to sit with you. Consultants will, I mean, if you have any credibility about yourself, you should be able to get at least some small amount of complimentary time so that they can sell you their services. So that you're not doing them any favors. They're not doing you any favors. They're trying to sell you on their services just as much as you need. And you milk it, you get your questions ready and you get prepared and you try to leverage that conversation. And also you got to think creatively. How can you work with these people on a long-term basis, those resources? Is
Mm-hmm.
it making them a strategic partner, giving them equity in your deal? Maybe just thinking outside the box.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times we won't deal with certain professionals because we're limited by our belief of we can't afford it. But you got to get creative. You got to get good with your people skills, your persuasion skills. You have to really kind of dig in. Maybe starting the conversation off with just business may not be the best thing. Maybe trying to find a mutual connection. Oh, you from Chicago? I'm from Chicago too. Oh, my cousin. When people like you, they're gonna tend to stick
Mm-hmm.
around a little bit longer.
You're in
And
a sorority. I'm in a sorority too. You own a business. I own a business too. It's
Mhm.
like, hey, it's like you got to find common ground with people. And it's not always about that. And that's why I say coaching programs are good. I'm in a few. And, the ones I stick in is the ones with people that I find common ground with.
Mhm.
Because I do truly believe in hiring people for their talents. I pay for everything that I need to help me get to that next level. I invest in me. I invest in my business. I invest in my team. And I believe in investing in that. And I'm just like I invest in my children, right? Because I want them to be productive. And we should do the same for our business and the things that we want in life. Lorenzo Wyche, my friend, you are amazing. Thank you for joining me for making $1 million business. Let me see if people have comments in the comment. But I want to ask Lorenzo. I'm going to be hosting my next Pocket More Profit Bootcamp. This is what it looked like, friend. And so I want to invite you to come and just like
This is one
share.
in Tulum.
No, it's not the one in Tulum.
Oh,
I
that's
said
what I'm
it's
coming
for
to.
Tulum. You can no.
Make
I
sure
want you to
some
come to
baddies
Tulum.
there for me.
What'd you say? Say it loud.
Make sure some baddies. I'm single.
Look, this is
Make
a
sure
wealth.
Tulum trip's gonna be worth it.
Look, Tulum is going to be off the chain. Laura, where is it? Where's my wealth and wellness thing? Put that up because Lorenzo brought it up.
Health
Tulum
and
is
wellness.
the wealth and wellness experience. That's what we got. Hold on, let me cut my thing
You might
off.
have me start doing yoga. get that going.
But this is live production. We'll just come back on. That's okay. The Wealth and Wellness Experience. I'm gonna take it off. So that's what it is. Can we take that off? Yeah. So the Wealth and Wellness Experience. That one's in Tulum. It's October 7th through 10th. If you go to my Linktree, the link to register is there. But no, that is not the one in Tulum, my friend. Tulum does not happen until October. But in the month of June, I don't know. This gonna be virtual. I ain't gonna have no baddies, but we still need to talk about having an event at the Breakfast Boys for business owners.
Yes.
And we're gonna put out a date for that. I've been wanting to do so, Lorenzo. I'm not putting Lorenzo on the spot, y'all, just so y'all know, because we talk all the time. But Lorenzo and I have been talking about doing a business combos and coffee live, right? But Lorenzo, I don't know if we're gonna do that because that downstairs be booked and busy now. How we gonna have a conference?
We'll do it on a Friday. We gotta do it on a or like
Okay, so we're gonna do it on a Friday morning. So I'm gonna put the save the date out there, Lorenzo. So we're gonna do a business combos and coffee live.
Okay.
Okay.
Done.
At the Breakfast Boys, right? I may actually even, and I do want you to join me for Pocket More Profit as one of my guests on one of my days for one of our topics, which is like workflows and processes and how to use certain systems in your business. And so I really believe in people building assets through business and profit. And so I want you to be a part of the conversation, friend. So I want to invite you back for that because, of course, 30 minutes is never enough for us. We're already at 45. So tell the people how to find you and how to reach you.
Online, you can go to my IG. It's Lorenzo_restaurants. In person, you can find me at the restaurant. The Breakfast Boys. Eat at Breakfast Boys is our social media. We're open from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. during the weekday, 8 to 5 on the weekend. Chicken and waffles, shrimp and grits, chicken and pancakes, eggs, grits. We have vegan options. If you're thinking about lunch, we do an amazing kale and quinoa wrap. So you have some healthy options as well. Great place to socialize and have coffee and mimosas and rum punch brunch. If you're a brunch person, you need to be there. You need to at least experience it once.
Yes, yes, yes. So the Breakfast Boys is the place to be. Me and my friend are going to be coming live there. Y'all can eat at the Breakfast Boys today. Okay.
Yep. We're open right
Today.
now.
Yeah, they open right now. So y'all join my friend Lorenzo Wyche, and let me pull this off. I got a little logo there that I need to pull off. Yeah, join us again. I have thoroughly enjoyed you, Lorenzo, and I had 10 questions. I don't think I got to half of them, but I do want to end it because this is business combos and coffee. Because I wanted to specifically ask you, what's your favorite coffee?
I like a Colombian dark roast.
A Colombian dark roast. Do you serve that at the Breakfast Boys?
We do. We actually use Black Coffee, which is a Black-owned roaster. One of the few in the country. They import their beans and roast here in Georgia, and they actually donate a percentage of their proceeds back to the community they're in, which is Lakewood.
Oh, cool beans. Okay, so is there a coffee item that's currently on the menu? Because you got a special coffee on that menu, right? Is there
it's a.
I have it on my phone. If you don't have the menu, I have the menu on my phone.
The oat milk latte. It's an oat milk, all plant-based latte.
That's your favorite one on the menu?
Yes.
What about that spike one? Tell the people about the spike one. Y'all got to be careful with breakfast.
Oh, the iced coffee. Oh, yeah. It has coffee liqueur. It has banana pudding liqueur, a little bit of whipped cream. You can't tell if it's dessert or if it's like a breakfast thing. It's hybrided. You know, it's great in the morning if you're looking to get a little boozy, but still feel like you're not getting boozy because you're drinking coffee.
Look, I try not to have any specialty drinks when I'm at the Breakfast Boys when I know I got to go back to work because it is a day party every day.
We put everything in a coffee cup so you could just tell your boss or whoever it's a coffee.
except for my team. Y'all don't
It
listen to
might be vodka and
Lorenzo.
orange juice, but you just say it's orange juice. So I gotta go. I gotta take this call.
All right, I'll talk to you later, friend. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. All right, guys, we've had Lorenzo Wyche from the Breakfast Boys join us this morning. If you enjoyed this Combos and Coffee, let us know in the comment sections. This is what Business Combos and Coffee is all about. Y'all, we bless Lorenzo and thank him for joining us. And look, this is the situation. Join me back here next Friday as I will be talking to Plant Based Jeff live. And we'll be talking about continuing this conversation on health, wealth, wellness, right? To leading towards the event in Tulum, which is a wealth and wellness experience. You can join me for that, and you can join me here every Friday live for combos and coffee. And if you want to join, jump in the conversation and watch any of the replays and the return of the guests, we have that going on live in Business Combos and Coffee. You can actually meet most of our guests in our next boot camp, which is my Pocket More Profit Bootcamp that's coming up next month. All right, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you start to join our group, LinkedIn, Facebook. I'm only streaming this in here in the group. So hit the button, subscribe so you know when I go live, and I'll see you guys later. My name is Spiceda Jackson. For those of you who are watching this for the first time, I am the accountant that you love, and I have a team of the accountants that you love. CEO of X Financial Inc., former Big Four CPA, and founder of Tax Plus 365, where I help entrepreneurs have friends like we talked about today, so that and we help you have the financials that you need and the decision making and advice that you need to make great decisions like we talked about today, so that you can pocket more profit and grow that profit to your unlimited life. All right, y'all, until next time, know that I love you. Mwah. I'm out. Don't forget to move your profit in the right direction, and that's up. Bye, y'all.